Okay, so I'll be starting with the monologue. We talk about strengths, but there's strength in vulnerability. Too many men are often told to carry their burdens quietly and to be stoic ones, to be, protectors. But when it comes to mental trauma, we need to rethink. It's okay to not be okay. We need to give men the space to speak up, to ask for help without fear of judgment. Mental scars are real, just like physical ones, and they can, really hurt and deserving your care and attention. It's not about being strong in the old way. It's about supporting each other, encouraging each other to break the silence and remind ourselves that seeking help isn't weakness. It's a brave thing. We can do it if we want to build strong men. A world where healing is just as valued as strength is very important. So welcome back, everyone. We're going straight to our first quick fire on the black table tonight. Yeah, I have to put that out there because a lot of people always ask, we do a lot of talking, but do we really support men the way we should? But tonight's first quickfire is a very interesting one. I'm sure you all know what's going on. Paul Okoye, a.k.a. Rude Boy, secured the release of his elder brother, Jude Okoye, from custody by staking his Okoye property while standing surety. Recall that elder brother and former manager Peter and Paul Okoye of the defunct music group Psquare was on Wednesday, February 26th, remanded in Okoye Correctional Facility following his arraignment by the EFCC over allegations of money laundering amounting to 1.38 billion naira, $1 million, and of course another 34,000 pounds somewhere. He pleaded not guilty to all the charges, and the court adjourned for Friday, February 28, which is today, for his bail hearing. At the bail hearing, Rude Boy announced his willingness to stake one of his properties in Okoye as, surety. And this is something that we need to talk about. I remember Psquare from many years ago because at a particular point in time, we were on tour together and we traveled from state to state. And these guys were like this. Their bond was really special. And seeing all of this now, it's a bit shocking to me. And, what are your thoughts on how this should have been managed? They've been everywhere online. They've been in the media, going at it. But how do you think they should have managed this better?
It's sad. It's disappointing. It's heartbreaking, especially for people that knew Psquare when they had nothing. I remember when they bought the first car. I remember back then when we used to buy all those magazines where song lyrics were written in. I mean, to see them grow from those Just Boys to being international superstars and then this, very disappointing. And it shows you that time is not kind to anybody, right? And I just always wonder, what would their mother be doing in her grave right now?
Yeah.
These boys shared the same womb. You're not just brothers, you came to the world the same day. You stayed in the same womb for 9 months. What is it that you guys can't work
And they
out?
achieved greatness together.
You don't even have to. You don't have to be best of friends. It doesn't have to get to this point. It doesn't have to get to this point. It just shows you that sometimes, when both parties decide that, no, let's go to war, everything scatters, and that's exactly what it is now. Like, even if anybody had told them 20 years ago that a time will come in the future where you guys will take each other to court and all of this, they would have told you Lila is not going to happen. And the reason why it pains me is because I remember them when they were living in Omole. We made costume for their first album. I went to their house in Omole. Like you rightfully said, they were like this.
Yeah.
Like they were like this.
Yeah.
And to see this, it's sad.
Yeah, it's very sad.
And heartbreaking.
Yeah. Dick, what do you think is their malfunction, basically?
Well, there are layers of malfunction, and I'll say that because this is a typical example of is a typical example of undermining the importance of agreement. This is a clear-cut reason for anybody going into any sort or any kind of business to understand the importance of agreements, legal agreements. Now, these are brothers, like you rightly said. They came into the world the same day. They're twin. I mean, do you know what the kind of bond between?
You're leaving out the fact that the elder brother is.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Okay, so if we were to look at it from the perspective of twin, right?
Yeah.
it is between Peter and Paul.
Paul, yeah.
Not Peter, Paul, and Jude.
That's
They're
what
not
this
a trio.
really is actually said, yeah.
But because a third party has come into place, that's the reason why there should have been an agreement stating that this one is for me. This
Third
one
party,
is for me.
The elder
That
brother
one is
who
for-
managed them.
That's what
all
I'm
through,
saying.
you know,
It
the
is because
successful
of that
years.
But
closeness.
without Jude, there will be no
listen,
Psquare.
Okay,
Let's be clear.
okay, it is because of the closeness that caused this. You see, that closeness is what has caused, we are brothers now. Don't worry, I'll sort it out. I'm the older brother. I'll sort it out. Now, they did not plan for the rainy day. They did not plan, I mean, in this
Yeah, I
context,
was
they
going
did not
to-
plan,
gang,
they
I'm
did
gonna
not
ask you
plan
about
for,
that.
they did not plan for the fact that, what if we have a discord or we have a disagreement? Now, don't forget, look, let me tell you something. You see, we need to understand, especially in this country, the importance of procedural, stuff. Do you understand what I'm saying? You need to go through the right process.
Okay.
Let me quickly digress a little bit. A very good example is that of the Wigwe family. If Herbert Wigwe did not put the right things in place, his children will not have anything to say. His family will take over everything.
There'll be chaos,
and there'll be chaos.
Yeah.
So it is important to understand that if Peter and Paul have come together and said, yes, we are brothers, but business is totally different. Let us put the right things in place that will not cause discord in the future. We will not have this today.
Okay, so quick one, gang. Yeah. Do you think, like you said, rainy day, do you think all of this is happening because their time is well past?
Well, yes. Now, there's so many ways to look at it. Their relationship became more estranged after the mother's passing.
Okay.
There was a lot of tension in the relationship, I can speak as a twin myself and my brothers that I'm closer to. You get where I'm coming from? Clearly, Rude Boy and Jude are a lot closer than Peter is to Jude.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So they've had that falling out. Now, to an extent, you can even attribute it to money being the root of all evil and the effects of not honoring, like you said,
The love of money.
The love of money.
Yeah.
Do you understand? God forbid, but this time will come that one of them may pass away. Then we might see how far the hatred or the non-love actually exists between them. Truth be told, and a lot of artists should take this advice as well, you will not be on top forever. You might not be making all of those millions forever, having all of those shows. So there's life after your artistry. Now that they're not the biggest kids on the block, they're not the big three or top three or whatever it is, life has to continue. So Jude must have put his hand in certain pies that are now putting him in this kind of trouble. And based on his relationship with Rude Boy, of course he deserves to be able to stand for him as a shorty and put up property.
But
There was something Femi said that's very vital.
Yeah.
If you look at Psquare, would there be a Psquare without Jude?
Okay,
That
so
manage them and help put them on the map.
On the map.
So
Do you understand?
I like that you said that, but now I'm going to play the devil's advocate. Let's look at what has been presented. A case has been presented, and this case says that XY amount of money is missing from the coffers. And then, based on investigations, it's been traced to a particular account. You understand? Now, brothers or no brothers, or brothers still, shouldn't there be clear accountability? And in case, was allegedly he actually did that, then don't you think Jude should be held responsible? Because if he actually did, siphon, funds into
So this takes me
another
back
company.
to what I had said.
Yeah.
You see,
You
can
the
say-
legendary
Yeah.
Osofia sang a song. Agreement is agreement.
Please don't sing.
Agreement is agreement. See, let me tell you something. If you agree, take for instance, we're working together, we have a business together, right?
Are we not working together?
Olamide, we have been friends for so many years.
Yeah.
And I can trust you to a certain level. but not to the
Except
ladies
to-
level.
Oh
Anyway.
Lord.
But I mean, do you understand what I'm saying? What I'm saying is that we have known each other for a long time. But
Yeah,
if we
well
want to go
enough,
into a business that will bring in
It's
some
another
certain
dynamic
amount of
entirely,
money,
yeah.
it is important that we take the right step, which is of course, one of the things that we need to do is we need to get documents in place that will protect our individual interests. If they had done the right thing, there wouldn't be issues of mismanagement. Why? Because if we had said that, so amount of percentage is going to this person, so amount of percentage is going to that person, as the money is coming
and the
in,
process.
you are
the process
giving me
is
my
clear
money.
now.
Can I say
Don't
something?
forget that this is the second
in
time.
the music industry
This
it's
is the
different. Let me tell you why.
Okay.
Let me tell you why it's different in the music industry.
Okay.
You have scenarios where somebody is saying we're identical twins, right? One of us is the better dancer. One of us is a better songwriter. One of us is a better performer. One of us is a better singer.
Vocalist, yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So the problem is when you're distributing or sharing money music-wise, in terms of royalties, publishing, you understand? The producer gets this, the writer gets this, the singer gets this, the performer gets this. So if you look at that sharing. Obviously, not everybody's going to get the same amount.
Okay.
But people might feel entitled but we're a group. It should split equally. Some people might even say, Jude, it's none of your concern. But as a manager, he has his percentage and other things as well. In terms of the embezzlement or whatever it is that Jude is going through now, it's not a solo thing. There are other parties involved as well.
Exactly.
That's why he says he's not guilty and his brother is standing by him. So you have to consider so many things when it comes to this family. There's so many things behind the scenes that people don't even know, people are not aware of. I'm even sorry for their kids that are cousins or extended family that don't even know my uncle this. They don't, the drama that has been bestowed upon them because of their own conflict.
So let me just ask a very simple question. So these guys are not at the top of their game anymore, right? And money now becomes a problem. What happened when they had a tsunami of funds? Why didn't they have this problem back then?
Exactly my point.
Exactly.
Why?
Yeah.
Exactly my. That's
Why
exactly.
didn't they have this money?
See, let me tell you something. You see what you just
there was
said.
a lot of money.
Gang, what you just said
Because
is valid.
the way
alright?
artists are. Let me give you an example.
No. I'm
Let me
so sorry.
tell you,
I'm
the
so-
industry-
let me quickly address something you said. I agree with you totally, and you're speaking from the technical know-how of music industry and what have you, right? Valid. But my point is this. You know that, this person is supposed to take this person is supposed to take this. Before that money started coming in, we should have agreed on how much this person is going to take and how much that person is going to take.
I
So that
don't
when
think
it
they
eventually
ever
comes,
thought
there's no
that
issue.
it get this big.
No, that's not what I'm
let
saying.
me give you a true story. True story. Yeah?
Whatever Psquare is making in a year now was what they were making in a month.
Exactly.
Back then. So
Yeah.
why is it a problem?
Why is it a problem now?
Let me tell you
Because
why.
it's not flowing like.
Let me
like
tell you
it
why.
used
But
to.
these guys are still making money now. They're still
No,
doing
of
shows.
course,
Bro,
but
it's
it's
Nigeria.
like-
They're-
it's
bro,
not like
no,
before.
the Nigeria they don't do show. They see they do
Listen.
show.
You know what, guys? We need to move to the next quick
Let me
fire.
give you an example.
So we'll take a final feedback from you, and then we'll move to the next quick fire.
There are certain scenarios. For example, now it's easy for me to tell you that, when you make 1,000 naira, you're giving me 10%.
Yes.
And in your mind, it's just 10 naira.
Right.
Do you understand? By the time you're making 1 million naira, you're giving me 10%. It's 100K. It's not a big deal. By the time you now make 1 billion, and I'm telling you, give me 10%, you say, whoa, that's too much money to give me. But it's still the same 10%.
Right.
There's this thing that money does, that it changes when it eventually comes in. You make certain agreements, and then somebody comes and says, why is this guy making this amount of money?
Like, what exactly is this guy doing?
he's not
But
proper.
is it an issue of agreements now, or the fact that there is a problem that did not have an agreement?
That wasn't
Money
addressed.
don't
That was not
dry.
addressed.
Money
Because
don't
this-
dry. Mouths
one
don't
thing you need to
dry.
understand with the
Yeah.
industry is that sometimes, especially, I don't know about outside, but like in Nigeria, a lot of artists behave like Yahoo boys. They feel as if the money came in this week, all I need to do is drop another song,
It will keep
do
coming
another
in.
album, and then the
But
money
it
will come
doesn't
in.
really work that
And
way.
it doesn't
like
work
that.
that way.
All right, on that note, we need to take our next quick fires.